Oh boy. Ooh, doggy. That's a lot of comments. That is a lot. Ooh. Man, I caused the war, didn't I? All right. But you see, I think a lot of the problem here is that a lot of people are missing the point. So, yeah, let's take some time and let's have a conversation. I am just wow. Wow. That's a lot of comments. And that's a lot of comments that is going into place of pretty much, I think, missing the point of what I was trying to gain at when it came down to that video. And maybe that is my fault for maybe there's some miscommunication. Maybe I didn't explain myself properly. And you know what? I'll apologize to that straightforward to you guys if that's the case. Maybe you miss exactly what my point was. So that way, you know what? We'll clear that up now. So first thing I'm going to bring up, first point I want to bring up out of like 5 points here, 6 points here, is number one, I think we're missing the point of the reason why that ZZZ video came out and what was my point behind it. Straight up, I was told in a live stream that ZZZ was so fucking easy that even the in-game content, you could straight up just mash through it with no knowledge, really, with no understanding. And a 6-year-old basically could beat it, and it was a snore fest. Then I had people saying that they were using their friend's whale account and stuff like this, and they were blazing through the entire game with such ease. And it's like, wow. So ZZ is really that simple, really that easy? I mean, I could never really elaborate on it, right? Because I never really experienced the in-game content. All I know is I saw people play it, and I've seen people struggles. You know, people fucking scream to the top of their lungs and hate the fucking game because of it. And a lot of people say, oh yeah, that's just acting and such. The game is so easy. That's basically what I got told. So I had a friend of mine who was watching the stream that gave me that said, borrow my account, try it. I didn't ask for the account. He just fucking offered it right then and there for me to experience ZZZ. So I reinstalled ZZZ on my computer. I went on his account and I went try it out for myself. I went try out both the beginning and the in-game content. I wanted to get, you know, a good rough guess of the beginning content, like what you would normally face in the beginning of the game. Like you're just going in, you're playing the game, this is how the combat is. And sure enough, you can mash through that with relatively no problems. That's what I experienced. But to the people that were saying that even the in-game content was mashable was completely absurd. Because I died like 30 to 40 times, and that video is not going to do it justice. Like that video was actually one of my best takes in that entire modes, in those modes, after understanding a little bit more about the combat scheme. And that's why I think people are missing the point. The point is that the idea of what I was trying to do was more of a social experiment to test the difficulty of ZZZ against someone brand spanking new, because you have so many people out there that's claiming that ZZZ is not a skill-based game, that it is legitimately just a masher's delight. Okay. So if it's a masher's delight, I should have no problems playing it. You know, it just then becomes a preference thing. Well, we got to the part where it is skill-based. And I don't think it's a masher's delight at a skill base. That's why a lot of y'all in the comment section are saying, well, of course you're having trouble. You didn't have a fully built team. You didn't have an optimized team. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. Of course it's going to be hard. You didn't know how to play ZZZ, all this stuff. And you know what? That was the point of the entire experiment. I had people come in the live stream tell me that they would, you know, jumped on a friend's account for like 2 hours or 5 minutes or whatever, and they mashed through all the content, all the beginning, all the end content, and blah blah blah, and it was super fucking easy. That there was no need to think in the game. And you know what? I wanted to test it. So my friend Valk, he fucking let me borrow his account, let me go on, let me experiment, didn't tell me jack shit of what to do, and just let me record. And that's why, like I said, I was heavenly surprised. Beginning content, I was, you know, I'm going to say, you know, beginning content is like playing WutheringWaves story mode. Anyone who's brand new to WutheringWaves, you're not going to have a difficult time in WutheringWaves, okay? Just like ZZZ. Before you get to in-game content, if you're going to go fight, like, for example, let's go open the map. You do all these areas. You go fight Scar. You go fight right here, the Tempest. You go fight, you know, Bell. You go fight fucking Infernal Rider. These versions right here in the base game, not in-game content, you're going to have an easy time. You don't have to be a high level to fight these fucking things. And you can straight up, you know, be in a level fucking 50 world still with a character at level fucking 30 and have fun and beat the shit out of all what I like to call the baby bosses. But when you get into the in-game content in like WutheringWaves, tactical hologram bosses, you know, this becomes a different story. The in-game content is much harder at the end of the day. And it also applies the same effect at ZZZ. Now, I'm going to say that ZZZ, and I'm not, there's really, like, we even discussed this last night, like, people are trying to change my mind on this, but I don't see it. Maybe you guys can, you know, explain to me better, but they just released the character Caesar, from my understanding. And Caesar is basically what's going to make this content in the end game much easier. Is if you get her, you summon for her, it's going to make the content easier. She's not a character they give to you for free. She's a character you have to summon for. She gives you a big fucking shield, and she's going to help you blow through all the in-game content with much ease. But without her, you got to go fight all this shit that's coming in. And in all honesty, it's actually, to me, to be completely honest, that WutheringWaves may actually be a more balanced system. This is where I really think is the top thing about ZZZ. I don't think ZZZ is fucking balanced unless you have a truly balanced team. But it's not a mashable fucking game. Like, I don't understand why people are so upset with me saying that I think ZZZ is harder than WutheringWaves. WutheringWaves gives you, in the beginning of this game, different characters. You get, you know, looking at the resonators. Like, let's just say you're a person that, you know, has the base characters. You get Shanhua. You get Baichi. You get fucking Rover, Yang Yang, Xie, Shixie. You get these characters absolutely for free, straight up from the game itself. Okay? It gives you a fucking healing character that you can use. Then if you summon, you know, you get other characters. But just the base game, if you never summoned in the game, you just saved your ass rights from day one, and you never used your voucher, you never used, you know, your pickup, you still got characters that helps balance out a team, right? That helps balance out to where if you fuck up, guess what? They're going to restore your health. They're going to do things. In ZZZ, from the base roster that it gives you, and not even summon Jane Doe or fucking the police girl, I don't even know what her name is. Not even Caesar. The base roster, there is no fucking character that I've seen that provides a buff that says, or a thing that says, oh, you fucked up, here's something that's going to help you because you fucked up for the in-game content. This is a healer. This is a shield person. You don't have that. Which, now they're putting that in there, but in the beginning, you didn't have that. And that's where, like I'm saying, is that if you look at the structure of it, you know, yeah, ZZZ would be considerably, not considerably, but would be marginally harder in that case, Resolve. okay, especially for the in-game content. Because I've seen him play something with the corruption bullshit with the TVs a long time ago, to where he had to fight a bulldozer boss. I remember this explicitly when he first played ZZZ. And one of the things was they took away half his fucking health, to where he was fucking one hit away and got to fight a giant bulldozer boss that has a fucking shit ton of health. And he's got to dodge, he's got to parry, he's got to do all this stuff and survive. And if he fucks up once, there goes his character, it's dead. His main DPS is fucking dead and he don't do damage no more, and he might as well just try again. So that's where I'm basing my information in. Now, I'll agree with a lot of you that, like, you know, comparing ZZZ to WutheringWaves is kind of ridiculous because they're two different style games. But some people out there, that's what they want to do. They want to compare it. So if that's the case, I need to try to keep myself informed, right? I need to experience what happened. And to the people out there that's just saying, you know, well, you didn't run the optimal team, you didn't do this, you know, of course it's going to be hard because you never played ZZZ, you played so much WutheringWaves, that's why WutheringWaves is so much easier to you, blah blah blah, this stuff. That wasn't the point of the video. You're proving the point of what that video was, is that people came in, straight up said you can mash through all the content. Even when I brought up in the live stream, well, what about the in-game content? And I was told not to worry about the in-game content because it was brain dead fucking easy and you can smash through it. Well, I now am going to say I fully disagree with that it is something to that effect, because trying to say that a 4-year-old or a 6-year-old can pick up ZZZ and just face roll their face all over a controller and fucking beat the fucking game's content is absolutely the wrong mindset. I mean, this is the only reason why I played ZZZ, was to test, you know, the scenario, to test this entire objective. And there's some people who is just like upset with me for whatever fucking reason, because in all honesty, you know, it's a preference thing. If you don't like ZZZ, you don't like ZZZ, but you don't have to go ahead and say, you know, ZZZ is fucking so goddamn easy and that's the reason why you don't play it, and you never experienced the in-game content. You don't have to diss the game just because you don't like it. Like, look, I don't like ZZZ because I don't like the mechanics of it. I've tried it several times so far now. I've played at least now about 4 or 5 hours of the game, and I don't like it. I don't like the fact that it feels very much, and to me, a very stiff game, as well as a game that has no input delay in it, that when you press a button, it comes immediately out. There's no like half a second, then it comes out type deal. It is immediately coming out. A game that has these types of features, I just don't like it. And like I said before, I don't like it doesn't have a jump button. I don't like the mechanics, but I'm not going to diss that, you know, ZZZ is a horrible game. I'm really not. And I love the fact that some people right now is absolutely upset with me. And like, look, Noisy Boy, I'm going to say this is dedicated to Noisy Boy in this one. I love you, man. I think you're a cool dude and everything else, but you are like one of the people that got really upset that you had to come here into the Discord this morning at 6 a.m. saying this is my 15th try against the Infernal Rider in the co-op event, and you're putting it, yeah, but no, ZZZ is harder. You're doing this single-handedly. You're trying to do this solo with just Yao. You're not having a full team. You're not playing the co-op the way it was intended. And you're doing this right here on purpose because you're mad. And you're trying to say, well, you know, WutheringWaves is more difficult. I'm sure if I would have just did one fucking character and that fucking mode over there, it would have been just as fucking hard. I'm not trying to say that WutheringWaves is not a hard fucking game. WutheringWaves has its own fucking challenges. But ZZZ just as well has its own challenges. And to me, there is more things about it that's completely unbalanced that makes it legitimately more difficult than WutheringWaves. Last thing I'll bring up in this regards is the terms of the AI behavior. What I mean by that is that I fought basically a boss and a small minion at the same exact time. Okay? And both of them was on my fucking nuts. Like if I would turn my attention to the small one, the big one's on my nuts. If I would put my attention on the small one, on the big one, the small one's on my nuts from afar, shooting me with a fucking pellet gun, tickling my health down. And it's just like, you gotta watch out for all this shit. You gotta dodge, you gotta parry, you gotta do all this other shit. And you're not doing any damage really at this point in time to either one of these motherfuckers. And you know what? It was completely fucking unfair in my personal opinion. I don't have this problem in Tactical fucking Hologram. Okay? The biggest fucking fights that I have that is kind of bullshitty is going to be Ajax and the fucking goddamn fucking monkey with its monkey farts. With two little ghost monkeys that it likes to summon. But I can get through that, even though that's completely unfair too. That's kind of an RNG balance. You know, when it happens... Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. The little rockets from the fucking Ajax. I have fought the Ajax to where it never shot a fucking one of those fucking goddamn fucking homing missiles at me. I have fought the fucking goddamn monkey where it never shot the fucking goddamn fart monkeys except maybe 1 or 2 times. And then I fought them before where it shot them like one after the other every single time. It's completely RNG based. You know? It's not just something that is, you know, on my nuts fully. And that's where, like I said, I think that the difficulty in ZZZ is not the difficulty of WutheringWaves. And what makes it harder is that it's absolute fucking bullshit balancing. It is a full skill check. And doing that shit without dying, without fucking up, was one of the hardest things to even look at, even trying to do. How the fuck my friend Valk did it, I don't fucking know. Because we all as players, you basically got to run it fucking perfect. You don't get hit once. And you know what? He's more skilled at ZZZ than I am. Maybe if I did spend time, you know, in ZZZ, I would get a better understanding of all this. And it would be much easier for me at the long run. But how my opinion is right now, in WutheringWaves, I fuck up. I could fucking pop in Shorekeeper. I could pop in Baichi. I could pop in Verana. I could pop Jianshi, and I can fucking fix the mistake by giving my character a full fucking heal. If I fucking die, I could go ahead and pop a fucking revive thing to bring my character back in some of the content of this game to where, you know what, it balances out. Where WutheringWaves is like, look, you fucked up. We know, hey, you do this, you're good to go. I'm not talking about self challenges. I'm not talking, you know, hell, I'm gonna go fight this boss 1v1. I'm talking about what the game offers you in terms of both. And it's honestly, ZZZ is just bullshit when it comes to some of its in-game content, and it's a full skill check. That just having a wailed out character and trying to go through all this shit is not just something that's going to be that relatively easy. So I apologize to anyone out there that you may, you know, got upset over this. I mean, to me, you're getting upset over nothing. I mean, it was just a video. I'm not fucking devaluing, you know, WutheringWaves. I think WutheringWaves is really good. I still love WutheringWaves. I love WutheringWaves more than fucking ZZZ. But I'm just saying that I think that ZZZ, you know, should be given a little bit more credit at the end of the day, that it is actually, you know, a skill-based game, not just a masher's delight like some people want to point it out to be. All right. I know this video is probably gonna get some fucking hate too on behind it, but hey, I'm just gonna post this up, and you know, got some other videos I want to record and all that good stuff, so I'll let y'all be. Keep it real. Keep it classy, keep it jazzy. And at the end of the day, guys, it's about preference. You like what you like, you play what you play, and it doesn't matter. We're all good. We're all human beings. All right? Catch you on the flip side. Peace.